Hello again from my front porch. It is an actual rather nice day here in Iowa, the temperature-wise, I should say. It's a nice day. It's overcast. I kind of like the overcast days, at least for this purpose, because it makes the lighting much better, and it keeps the front porch from being a little bake oven out here. But what I wanted to talk to you about this time is I have something really exciting coming up this week. That I get to do. I am speaking at a conference, and I know some of you are like, Paul, wait a minute, we're not out of COVID yet. We're not doing that. You're sure you've had the 2 shots of the vaccine and stuff and all that, but it's a little early to be going to conferences. Well, the people doing this conference agree, and that's why it is a completely online conference. Normally it's an in-person conference, but this year they've structured it so it is completely online, and I applaud them for that. It's being done by Training Industry Inc. You can look them up. It's an actual entity, but it's called the Tice Conference, Tice, Training Industry Conference and Expo. So now, in full admission, I have never attended the Tice conference before, but I know many of my peers who have, and I've talked to them, and they've sang the praises of what this organization has done and the kind of things they've heard and learned there. So I'm excited to be attending the conference. It's coming up this week, this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. What is that? April 27, 28, 29, I think. So I'm attending, but I'm not just attending. Like the old commercials. I'm not just the president, I'm also the customer. Well, I'm not the president of Tice, but I am speaking at Tice. And well, according to the good folks at Tice, I am also now Dr. Smith, because in the promo video that I made for them, they actually added the title Doctor to my name. I am very excited to be presenting at Tice's online event this year on the topic of learning while working, structuring your on-the-job training. The reason I'm excited is because the Tice event has a reputation for being a place where really inventive, creative, cutting-edge kind of concepts are proposed, where we can really truly step back and look at what it is that we as an industry are doing and where can we really improve to better support our business partners. And that's why I'm excited to be talking about structured on-the-job training to those attending, because this is the audience who understands the need for us to continually be evolving, continually be improving, and continually doing better. And I thought that was really kind of amusing, and so I made a comment about it online on LinkedIn that I'm not really a doctor, but I play one apparently in conference promo videos. And they proceeded to plug about my session, and the Tice people demonstrating their sense of humor as well. They replied to it and they said, "Well, we are giving you we are bestowing onto you the title of Doctor of Learning, at least during the time that you're working with us on this conference." so there we go, Dr. Paul Smith presenting at the Tice conference. So, but what I'm presenting on, of course, is, no surprise, learning while working, structuring your on-the-job training. But what is interesting is that the world has changed dramatically since the last time I had opportunity to present that topic. And the COVID, of course, is the change that the catalyst that caused that change. We now have a scenario in which we have what many experts are calling the Great American Migration of 2020, and it's referring to people literally physically moving their homes. In some cases, just moving themselves to different places to live. In other cases, not being able to afford to keep living where they were and having to move back in with parents or family or friends, and then having to find new jobs where they're at now and that kind of thing. But it also is a reference to the workplace migration, because we have a whole bunch of companies that just for practical reasons related to COVID needed to have their workers working from home. Well, now that we're starting to come out of COVID, some of those companies are wanting those employees to come back into the office And some of those, some of the companies won't make it optional. They'll say you need to come back now. We're restaffing the office. But even in those scenarios, it's not. I predict that this is going to continue to be an evolution, because now people have had a taste of what it's like to do their job from home. And if it was effective, I guarantee you they're still going to be pushing for that opportunity to do it over here. And so even those companies that make everybody come back are probably still going to be having this discussion for quite some time. The old cliche of the barn door was left open, that horse has long since left the barn. And you can try to corral the horse and put it back in the barn, but see, now that horse knows what it's like out there, and the horse is going to be restless inside the barn now. And so that's what's happened. Now, there are many companies who've already started talking about how they are going to be seeing what they can be doing to make that kind of remote working a more permanent thing for those employees for who it makes sense. And so, kudos to those companies for using the catalyst that has been given to us as a means of making, hopefully, a very positive change for themselves and for their workforce. But I don't want to be remiss of addressing this, so I am incorporating information about the Great American Migration of 2020, and then how you can do structured on-the-job training remotely. How do you do it remotely? And in fact, spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you that if you do a structured on-the-job training correctly, it actually helps facilitate that kind of remote learning. It actually makes it easier to do the remote learning. Not only does it help in person, but it also helps remotely. And well, if you want to know more, you're just going to have to attend the session or read the book. It's available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and td.org/SOJT, all the good places. But the good folks at Tice, they also sent a nice little care package. Now, I believe they sent it to everybody who is registered, not just presenters, but I just wanted to show you, this is see, here they sent me this nice pen. There you go, see, Training Industry, so you can see for yourself, that really is the name of the organization. I feel a little bit like a training kill right now. Here, can I put my hand up there? But so it sent me a nice pen, sent me a nice little notebook to take notes in. Now, it's funny, I have to admit, when I first saw this, I'm used to going to the ATD conferences where you get something like this in the mail, and it's the program guide for the conference, where it's got information in there about all the sessions, the presenters, stuff about the conference itself, about the organization, all kinds of different things. And so I was expecting that that's what this was, and so then I went to look in it, and it's like, where's all the this is for my experience of the conference to populate this book. So that was really cool. I like that they gave me the pen and that. But now here's the part that I thought was really here. I'll show you this first. I'll wrap up with the other thing. But here's the agenda for the sessions. Now, I'm not one of the keynote speakers here, but apparently, I don't know. My read on it is that I must be a headliner. I am definitely a first tier presenter, and the reason I say that is because on the web page where they've got the list of all the speakers, not the keynote speakers each day, but the session speakers, the breakout session speakers throughout the 3 days, where they've got them listed. They're not in any order that I can tell. They're not alphabetical by name, first or last name, by organization, maybe by organization. I may have to go back and look at that one again, but I don't think they were. But I choose to not believe that's the way they are anyway. But when you look at them, there's I think 4, maybe 5 in a row, and then there's rows of them. And when you go to the page, yours truly, right there in the top row. Yep. So what was the Bob Uecker? That must be in the front row. so yeah, I'm not a keynote, but I'm a front row. I'm a top row guy. Or as you go to, I'm the top shelf brand. I mean, I shouldn't say that too much because it kind of implies that the other people on that page are not, and that's not what I'm just having some fun. And I'm kind of flattered that there's my mug right there at the top of the page. But there's that. But on the back is this interesting thing. I'm going to be really curious to see how this goes because they've got the vendors that they're doing and stuff. But then they've got this virtual scavenger hunt. I'm going to be really curious, because I'm used to the scavenger hunts. That you at most places you go to the expo area and they have like a bingo card or something, and you go up to the different booths, the different vendors, and they put a sticker on it or sign something or do it. And then after you've got them all filled in, then you go and you put it in a box, and then if your card is drawn, you win a prize. And of course, the whole thing is a motivation to get you to go to the vendor booths, especially those who've paid big money to be part of the event. And so, I understand why it is too. Now, I often don't do that at conferences because when I go to the expo area, I generally am targeted. I research who do I want to talk to, and that's who I go talk to. But this time around, I'm going to be curious. I am curious. How does this virtual? How do they do the virtual version of the scavenger hunt? So I'm gonna be interested to see how that goes. But here's the thing that I really wanted to show you. They also in the package they included this nice little letter. It is from Ken Taylor, who's the president of Training Industry Inc. And the reason I wanted to share this with you is because remember what I told you I'm incorporating into my presentation. What my focus is. Well, listen to this. Dear fellow learning leader, we are beyond excited to see you online during the 2021 Training Industry Conference and Expo. What a journey the past year has been. As we've all pivoted our learning efforts to respond to mass uncertainty and rapid change, we have learned so much from our community of dedicated learning professionals, and I can't wait to experience all that's in store throughout the 3 full days of learning at Tice. We have carefully defined 4 comprehensive learning tracks made up of over 50 breakout sessions for you to build your personal Tice agenda, ensuring you will find strategies to help you tackle your most pressing learning challenges. We know you won't be able to attend all the sessions live, so block time in the days and weeks following to watch on-demand recordings of sessions you were not able to attend during the conference. Now, the 2 things in there that I want to point out to you. Number 1, in that first paragraph, we have learned so much from our community of dedicated learning professionals about dealing with the rapid mass uncertainty and rapid changes. I had not seen this before I put my session together. So I am very pleased that I incorporated into my session how SOJT can respond to this new the great migration, the great American migration of 2020. But then I also think it's really cool that because it's a total online conference, that they then also are saying, hey, we know you're not going to be able to attend everything, so you can still attend everything even after the event is done. The things you sat in on, great. You can go back and watch them again if you want to as well. And the things you didn't get to sit on that you wanted to, you can do that, because that's always a frustration when you go to a conference. You're reading through all of the different breakouts that are available during a window of time, and you're like, oh, I want to go to that one. Oh, and that one. Oh, and that one. Oh, and this sounds good. And then you're like, what are we going to do? That's why I like going with a group of people, a team from work or something, because then we divide and conquer. Okay, you're going to go this one, and you're going to go this one, and then we compare notes afterwards. But in this case, you can literally have it all. That's really awesome. So if you're a training person and you're watching this, I would encourage you to go out to Training Industry's website and get yourself signed up for this conference coming up this week. And if you're not a training person, then, well, maybe you're not as excited about wanting to go to this conference, but still, I would appreciate your well wishes of support. So, That's it. I'm going to go. Here, one more plug of the book, Learning While Working, Structuring Around the Job Training by yours truly, available everywhere where you buy really good books. And because never miss a plug to be shameless, or never miss a shameless to be plugged. Never miss an opportunity for a shameless plug. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like Learning While Working, Structuring Around the Job Training. All right, well, with that, I'm going to let you go. And I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.